So how do you go out and create new jobs and new companies? Well, you create your own. And joining us right now is Justin Dews with the nonprofit organization Bunker Labs. Now, for those, including myself, who didn't know much about Bunker Labs, talk to us and describe what is it all about?
Sure. So Bunker Labs is about helping people start and grow businesses. What most veterans go through as they transition out of service is they're looking for their next way to serve, their next way to give back. And for those who want to kind of go down the path of entrepreneurship, and they might not call it entrepreneurship, they might call it small business, they might call it startup life, but it's really about how do we find the resources, the connections, the inspiration to help those people kind of start the next generation of businesses, right? So the World War II veterans that came home, almost half of them started or ran a business in their post-service.
Right.
That's now under 5%. So we went from 50% to under 5% with the post 9/11 veterans such as myself.
Right.
So unlocking those opportunities is what Bunker Labs is all about.
And Bunker Labs is specifically designed for veterans as well as veterans' spouses as well. And this is not just a local nonprofit. Talk to us a little bit about, this is a nationwide nonprofit.
Yeah, sure. So this was started back in 2014 in Chicago. It was really about the CEO had started his own company, but also knew that there's lots of other people out there that want to do the same thing. So it's about capturing those resources, wanting to thrive locally, but be connected nationally with a set of resources. So what we're doing now, Charlotte is going to be the 35th chapter across the nation. We're going to be in all 50 states by the end of next year, by the end of 2021. And so what that's going to do is it's going to give these communities, these local communities, access to resources they might have not have ever thought that were available or not have even known about them in the first place.
You said you're a veteran yourself. Thank you so much for your service.
I was proud to do it.
Now, if there are veterans out there who are interested in creating their own business, what can they do and how can they reach out to you?
Sure. So I would say now initially, yes, Bunker Labs started with that common thread of the military connected community. So whether it was a veteran, the military spouse, or somebody that supported, but really we want to welcome everybody with open arms, anybody that's interested in entrepreneurship, and come find out if we're your people, right? Come drink some beer with us, come have a good time, meet people, talk through ideas. And it's really about kind of making that community, the community that they might remember from being in service, right? That those common threads, the changing duty stations, right? But you still had a tight-knit community.
Right.
So when a lot of veterans or entrepreneurship itself is kind of a lonely thing, it's a lonely kind of role. So this is a way for people to kind of reach out, know that there's other people going through some of the same things that they are.
To make that connection for folks, to know that they're not alone in this, because starting your own business, it's an uphill climb.
Absolutely.
Is there a website, phone number that veterans or folks can reach out to you guys to get some more information?
Absolutely, yeah. The best thing to do is usually just go onto Google, type in Bunker Labs in whatever city you are, and you're gonna find the closest connection for you, right? And through LinkedIn, Facebook, the website, right? There's enough ways to go out there and find a connection in your community. And the hardest part usually is just getting started, right? But once you take that first step and you come out, and then you kind of, it's almost like you get hooked, right? If entrepreneurship is your thing, right? So. And that's what we want to do. We want to help people kind of chase their dreams.
And you have success stories out there. How many people have you guys or have Bunker Labs helped start their own business nationwide? Yeah,
I think through the end of last year, I think we had, Bunker Labs nationally has helped start over 1,000 companies that now have employed, I think, maybe close to 2,500 people. So, and knowing that Bunker Labs itself is still in its infancy, right? It's still a startup, and as a nonprofit, we can't wait to see what kind of future impact, right? Because we kind of judge success in terms of years and maybe not like weeks or months. Because entrepreneurship, like you said, it takes time. It is a long road, and you've got to kind of have commitment, resilience, and resources and people to kind of help you support you along the way.
Well, luckily they know they have an organization with Bunker Labs that can help them in that process.
Absolutely.
Mr. Dews, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.